Buddies. My name's Erin.
And I'm Kate.
And we are not your average theme park fans.
Bringing you the best tips and tricks and the hottest takes.
And this episode, we are celebrating halfway to Halloween with our very first HHN podcast of 2024. Yay! So, obviously, HHN is one of our favorite things ever.
Of all time.
We absolutely love this event, and we've talked about this before. I only went a couple of years ago as my first time with Ben, and Kate has gone, 2 extra times?
I just went one extra time before you, and when I went, and I was like, you're coming.
But guess what? We are lifers at this point.
Yeah.
Like, we will be doing this for life until we're fucking old.
For real.
For real. And have
until they
shame.
don't do it anymore, and hopefully that wouldn't be a thing.
No, I can't imagine a future without that, and I was about to get dark. So let's move on then.
I don't want to live in a world without HHN.
Right,
I think
exactly.
That's what we're trying to say here.
Bottom line. So, obviously a lot of creators have already talked about what they think is going to be at HHN. So we don't want to really do too much of that.
Nah.
We will tell you guys what's on our wish list. We will absolutely talk about things that we kind of confirm as a wish list item for this year, but very briefly. The rest of it is
like just based on what's come out in media and like kind of what would make sense.
Right. So we're not going to touch on that a ton. It's mostly going to be what we want in general at HHN.
Not just this year, but like
future years.
Any year. Like, again, if we're going to this till we're old, like, if I have to wait, however many years for what I want to see, then so be it.
Right.
At least I'm getting to see it.
Right. 100%. Plus, you never know, like, horror movies is still a popular genre. And they're coming out with such great movies that,
it's endless content.
Endless. And we are here for it. So we kind of, like I said, we're going to touch on what people are kind of saying for 2024 this year and what's on our wish list out of kind of the things that people have been talking about. So first we're going to talk about Blumhouse because that obviously is a huge partner of Universal, So there have been a lot of things thrown out there. Night Swim, Five Nights at Freddy's, their new Imaginary movie. So on my list, because we obviously know there's going to be Blumhouse.
Yeah, they always do something.
My top, and I think we would both agree that Five Nights at Freddy's would be up there for us.
Yes.
Imaginary looks really good.
Right.
I think
haven't seen it yet.
Right.
It looks good.
Yeah.
It looks unique.
Right. And I think there's a lot of things they could go on. Like, the imagination can be a very scary thing.
You're telling me.
I knew I set you right up for that.
It also looks like it's heavy on like practical effects too.
Oh, love that.
And same with Five Nights at Freddy's, obviously. So like it'd be really not easy, but like they have more material to base off like physical sets.
Right, 100%. And we love that. We're about that. I really hope it's not Night Swim. We haven't seen that yet. It didn't really interest us. Yeah, exactly.
Will we see it?
What else would you have as a set besides a pool? So to me, that doesn't seem very practical. That doesn't seem like something they would do.
Yeah, if they set you up like The Sims and they threw you in a pool and took away the
ladder. That's scary. Yeah, that's true. Just being in the pool and...
with the ghost or whatever it is, demon, I don't know.
Okay, but why couldn't you just like...
No, you could. You easily
could. Just push yourself out of it, Sim?
Yeah, no.
You stupid. Anyway. So, those are kind of, what's been thrown out from Blumhouse. Also, Megan. I was looking it up online, and looks like there's going to be a Megan 2.0 in 2025. So...
That was a big deal last year with the Megan Horde, and
so
people loved it.
They
did.
It was iconic.
It was iconic. It was, and that movie is very good.
It was good. So I'd be interested to see. It's possible they could do that too. So if I were to have a top 3 wish list from Blumhouse, Imaginary, Five Nights at Freddy's, and Megan.
Yeah,
would be
agreed.
it.
Agreed.
So, and then a lot of...
Make the motion.
Yes. Something else that would be on our wish list for this year would be definitely Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah. It's the 40th anniversary of the original movie. So, and Kate, Freddy Krueger is Kate's favorite.
Yes.
So I'll let Kate handle this one.
He is the man of my dreams. Literally, figuratively, however you want to perceive that. That's up to you. He's made an appearance before, just as like an icon, and they did a house based on him, and like some of his iconic kills in the movies. But I would love to see like a perfect recreation of that first movie. Like there are so many iconic deaths. There's so many iconic settings. Like
I want to see him with his big arms. Ooh, like
good
googly thing. Yes.
Okay, yeah, no, but I really would love to see that. I'd love to see how they could do the effect of Glenn getting sucked in the bed.
Yeah. With the blood. Oh, yeah, that'd be so cool.
Yeah, because, I mean, we saw the Halloween house, which was a perfect recreation of the movie. We've seen the Texas Chain. Like, anytime they do a movie house, it's like you're in it. So,
I will quickly add in there that when they did Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I was a little bitch, and I couldn't. I really couldn't
almost
look.
wouldn't do it. She almost wouldn't go through it.
I have a thing about chainsaws. Like, they really, like, mess me up. Like, I don't know. I'm just triggered by them.
I feel like it would be really awful to get chopped up by a chainsaw.
Yeah.
Like, it would really be painful.
And it wouldn't, I don't think it would go through you either. It would, like, catch on all your innards.
It would be like, and you'd be just like...
Yeah, it triggers.
And then maybe it would be stuck in your innards, and then you'd pull it out, and then it would pull.
Yeah. Which would look cool, but...
It wouldn't be a good way to go.
Yeah.
Some of the other slashers are way more efficient with, they're just like, in your...
But if they do another one, I will promise to keep my eyes open for that.
It was good.
It was
really good. It smelled nasty.
It smelled nasty, yeah. I remember that. And I know they were looking right at me. I was not having a good time. But Halloween was fantastic.
Right.
That house was one of my favorites of that year. I loved that one. So, anyway, yeah, Nightmare on Elm would be insane.
That's what my fingers are crossed. That's one of my ultimate wish list items as someone who really adores that franchise.
Yeah.
It's like, the more Freddy, the better. Like, we can have multiple Chuckies and Michael Myers and whatever. Like, where's Freddy at?
Yeah. But we are a Robert Englund stan.
We do. We love him.
I know that they remade it, and it was, like, decent.
I did like it.
I did like it, too. But no one could ever fill his shoes. Other things that have been thrown out there have been Ghostbusters and Beetlejuice. Kate and I don't think they're going to do that. We just don't. I know that, like...
I'm okay on that. And
I'm okay on that, too. I mean, they just did Beetlejuice. They just did Ghostbusters.
Within the past few years, like, very recently.
If they, like, did it to reuse props, that would be a little bit lame to me. Like, just to kind of, like...
Well, it's like, we were talking about it, when The Walking Dead was a really big thing, and they did Walking Dead houses, like, almost every year.
Right.
Like, back to back to back. Like, I don't know if I would want to keep seeing the same thing year after year. And even though it's been, like, however, 3-4 years since they've done Ghostbusters, like, I still...
Yeah.
It's very fresh.
It is. Yeah.
Unless they were doing, like, a totally new take on it, or, merging the first and second movie, doing the new,
doing the new movie.
New stuff, I don't know. But it still is, like...
Yeah. So either way, those are not on our wish list. As much as we freaking love Beetlejuice.
And I love both of those movies.
Yeah, we love them. Yeah, no hate on them. We just feel that it would be too soon.
Yeah.
And I think that's our main reason why they didn't make our wish list.
Nah.
And then, Universal Monsters. You knew we were going to talk about it, guys.
Oh, yeah. They always do one. Yep. Same thing.
It was thrown out there, Creature from the Black Lagoon, which would be incredible. It is 54-year anniversary for...
He's 70.
And he's 70. Wow. So that would be incredible. Have they ever done a Creature?
He was in...
the one with all of
yeah,
them. Okay.
yeah.
Well, it'd be amazing to have one just...
Give the spotlight to the
Right.
Gill Man.
But we also know that they are making a Wolfman movie. So are they going to team up? That would be a pretty epic team up.
Creature versus
Wolfman in that house. That would be our wish list. I mean, either or, honestly. Both and...
I will literally take any Universal monster.
Right. So that is on our wish list from the things that have been thrown around.
There are lots of possibilities.
Yes.
For
what's to come. Yeah.
Based on the media that has come out this
right.
year.
Right. But, we like to kind of wait for the announcements and see where it's at. So
I know it's going to be good regardless.
Yeah.
I don't even want to sit here for a moment and be like, oh, well, if they do Ghostbusters, I'm going to be like, I'm
right.
still going to like it.
Right. Definitely.
So I don't, I care, but I don't. Like, it's still going to be amazing.
Right. I just think we didn't put it on our list just merely for the reason that it's been done recently.
I like new things. I like different things.
Right. So that's all we really have to say about this year. So, but we thought it would be really fun to talk about what we would like to see in general, like we said earlier.
Yeah, some spooky brainstorming went on.
Right.
And we kind of came up with some ideas of what houses we'd like to see, whether they're IPs or original. IP meaning intellectual property. That's where Universal gets the rights to a movie or a series that's already a thing and adapts it. And then the original properties or the original concepts are things that they come up with on their own.
Right.
And then, of course, scare zones as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of came up with our own, crazy
dream
list
of
what we would like to see at some point in HHN future events.
Yes. So let's start with the IP houses that we would love to see at HHN.
First one I got on the list here is Fear Street.
Hell yeah.
Fear Street is a series of novels that was adapted on Netflix from R.L. Stine. And there's a trilogy of movies, and they're so good.
It feels like a little bit darker for R.L. Stine. We grew up. Yeah.
It's gory.
It's gory. It's good. It's extremely well done.
It's good. It's like if you were taking a Goosebumps story but making it adult.
Right.
What happens when the monster actually does get someone and that didn't really happen in Goosebumps too much. Right. Or it'd be goofy or whatever. This was all
it
right,
was great.
Now you're going through the bread slicer.
Yeah. And honestly, it's cool because they have different time periods. So it'd be cool as a house adaptation because not only could you go through different time periods, but there's also different killers. There's different
Yeah, without spoiling the movie, I guess, if you haven't seen them, there's a different killer for each time period.
Right.
So you could literally have the locations from each era. Oh my god, it's the Eras Tour.
The Eras Tour of Fear Street.
Of Fear Street.
Yeah.
And there just would be so many iconic things to see from those 3 movies.
Yeah. I think that would be an incredible series. And like I said, the kills were really cool too. So a lot they could do.
Scare zone.
It could be too, yeah. Next one. Oh, I'll let you do that one.
The Evil Dead franchise.
Yes!
I know you're going to say in the comments, hey, they already did that. You're not wrong. But they did an Evil Dead house based on the remake. They did an Evil Dead house based on Evil Dead Rise that just came out last year. They did one for Ash versus Evil Dead. But they have not done the original 3 movies.
Which would be incredible.
Which
all of them.
You could even put them all in one. But to have an entire Army of Darkness house, that would be so good.
That one would be crazy good.
It would be so good.
Oh man, we love Bruce Campbell.
I love him.
We met him, So this is a little side note. We met Bruce Campbell. They did like Evil Dead Night where you watched the movie, and
With
before
him.
that, yeah, with him, and he did like trivia beforehand.
Oh, it was incredible.
And we got a picture with him, and he was such a like
he is like a character. Like
he is.
He plays the character of Bruce Campbell just every day.
He does. He's fantastic.
And who he is in his movies is who he is in real life.
And like meeting him, like he wasn't a dick. Like you know how some people are.
I mean, he has like that cocky like
He
attitude,
does.
but like he's allowed to.
But he's hilarious.
He's allowed to have it because
It's
got
humorous though. Yeah.
It's his thing.
Yeah.
Like, because he's a good dude too. Like he's not.
Yeah. Definitely.
So I want more Evil Dead.
Yes.
More Bruce Campbell.
Yes.
Deadites are where it's at.
Yeah.
That's a really big franchise that everybody, well, maybe not everybody likes, but like in terms of popularity, if you're like, oh, well, that wouldn't really like.
It's a classic.
It would.
Like,
It would be.
It would hold up for sure. Yeah.
I want to go in that cabin. I need to go in that cabin.
I want that deer talking to me. It's scary. Deadites, swallow your soul. Yeah. Okay.
In the like, can you imagine like the cellar door and they're just like,
yeah,
like, down by your feet? You'd be like, ah!
like hands coming. Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
that'd be good.
Shaking on it.
Love it. Okay, so the next one we put down was Hellraiser. Pinhead himself.
Love. Yeah.
That would be cool.
Iconic. Another iconic series.
Yeah.
The more we kind of looked into it, like the more I was, I guess, kind of shocked at how many big franchises they haven't done, considering like these have been around for a long time.
Yeah.
Evil Dead 80s, Hellraiser 80s, Nightmare on Elm Street 8. Like they've maybe appeared here and there, but I'm like,
I was just thinking about this too now. Like, it would be a sick house, but you could also do literally a Cenobite scare zone. Like, kind of, I'm picturing like Dark Zodiac, but with the Cenobites.
yes. All the different versions of them and like some weird music playing.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
With like some weird, like artsy, like, how like they have the stone and like the weird, like, yeah. Or like sculptures and weird shit.
Yeah.
Yo, that'd be sick.
Get on it.
That'd be cool. I would take a house or
you could
scare
have
zone.
Pinhead up on like a stage, and every once in a while he'd do something. Like
yes.
he'd have the
the
lament
box.
like.
Yeah. What's the box called?
The lament configuration.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Kate knows.
But like, or obviously as a house would be incredible.
Yeah.
Again, there are so many iconic scenes. Like I want to see him up on there with the
Yeah. And like the uncle, is it the uncle like in the room and like he's all crusty.
Well, he's like goopy.
Yeah. It's so good.
He's like in his muscle form.
Yeah.
He looks like a titan.
Or like the second movie where like she's in hell or whatever and like it's like a weird like labyrinth. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, it'd be
all
sweet.
right.
I'm telling you, like.
Yeah.
It sells itself.
For real. Come on, Universal, listen.
Just take the notes. You just watch the movie. All right.
We'll give you some ideas.
All right, and then we're gonna have the guy pop. Okay, yeah. It makes sense.
Yes. All right, next one. Obviously you should do.
I'm doing all of them. I'm just
yeah.
Scream.
I can't believe that's never been a thing.
Ghostface has made an appearance, like in some of the other houses.
Oh,
like,
really?
Like when they do ones that are like a generic horror.
Okay.
Like Jason pops out for 2 seconds and Michael Myers pops out for 2. Like he's been in that, or I should say they, because you never know.
You never know.
They've also been like just roaming, like as a scare actor. They did like hordes of classic monsters one year. They did like Chucky and Tiffany and Ghostface, like
cool.
Random, like early stages back before they kind of really had a coherent, like overarching theme for the events. So they've showed up a few times.
Yeah.
But I want a recreation
of the movie.
Or, a compilation or something.
Right.
But like recreating that first movie.
Iconic. It's so iconic.
For real!
Yeah. Like it's up there with obviously Freddy and Jason and Chucky as far as slasher movies go.
It's
like
so good.
Yeah. I mean, they'd get a lot of, I'm sure they get a lot of crazy women in there being like, come get me, Ghostface.
Please don't kill me, Mr. Ghostface. I want to be in the sequel.
There you go. Perfect.
Okay,
well
but
done.
I'm like that in all the houses, no matter what.
Dracula. Oh my god.
Oh my god. We literally were cheering for him. We were like,
We're like,
yes!
Dracula.
He like bowed.
We're like, oh,
I'm like,
please,
oh.
we'll bow to you, Dracula.
Oh.
Okay.
We like were walking by like, you need a
You need a sample?
Or when I was in the Beetlejuice house and like he was trying to marry
He
was trying to marry Lydia and I was like, Beetlejuice, I'm right here, like I'll
but
marry
I'm
you.
thinking in the beginning when he was like complimenting your outfit, remember? Oh.
I was like, let's go. I'll say your name 3 times. Whatever you need.
Okay, we'll do it.
Let's turn up the juice and see what shakes loose.
Nice. I love this. So we also put 13 Ghosts, which they're actually doing a series on, which is going to be hopefully great.
I'm very excited.
Yeah. And that's going to be for basically the backstory of each ghost.
Yeah, I think they're each
That'd
getting
be
their
cool.
own episode. If you watched the movie and watched the special features on the DVD, kids, you could go.
We're
through,
old.
You could go through, and you could click on each of the ghosts, and it would give you like a maybe 1 to 2 minute video of its like brief backstory of
That's so cool.
why they were called the Jackal or the Juggernaut or whatever it was, like where they came from, sort of thing. So, you know, that always felt like a missed thing just from the movie, like to expand on it. So if we're getting a show of it, and then we could get a house of it.
Do you think that they would take their own creative liberties though, or would they be consistent with sort of the backstory that was hinted at in the movie?
I think they would take source from it because it was very minimal. Like, you know,
so they could
really
like
writing
expand on it.
a horror story, writing a ghost story in a paragraph versus like, you know, they could do a whole novel on it. So the special features was just like a little,
Yeah.
here's a couple sentences. This is what they are. This is what they did. This is why they're a ghost. Here you go.
Cool. Well, I'm looking forward to that, and the house would be cool. What's next? Oh, The Thing. 1982 we're talking, though.
Yes, because they did do... The Thing got rebooted, remade, whatever you want to say, in like the mid-2000s.
Which was still good. I saw it.
I did not see it.
I saw it recently, actually, and it was good.
But I'm just saying...
But the 82 one is... That slaps. It's good.
Like, again, talk about a good location, like a setting.
Yeah,
So
keeping
many
it cold.
iconic scenes to recreate
Yep.
and to use the practical effects for, like...
I want the head with the legs on it.
Yes.
That's what I want.
I need it.
Oh, that's... Yeah. And, like, it, like, jumping out at you. Ugh.
Can you imagine him having, like, a flamethrower?
That'd be
Like-
cool. That probably won't.
Or, like, some sort of effect. You know, like, the dragon blows the fire
No, yeah,
out.
yeah.
You know how they just blow, like, the smoke?
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
A real flamethrower.
A real... Well, I'll get burned alive in there.
I'll jump into it.
No, that really does seem like it'd be cool. We love extraterrestrial things, and that one is just...
That's so good.
It
Body
is.
horror.
It's good. It's... Ugh.
Love
yeah.
it.
We did that one. Oh, what's the last one?
The last one was Silent Hill, just because I like those games.
You know, I'm really... Sadly, I've never played those games, and I'm the gamer.
I haven't played them either. I just
But you
watched
probably
them.
watched it, yeah.
But they're such interesting, like, horror concepts where it's a lot of, like, dealing with someone's own, like, mental illnesses and their trauma and how it manifests, like, what's real, what's not real, sort of thing.
Oh, that's deep.
So, like, the monsters that are in it are real monsters, but they're also representations of this person's guilt or this person's whatever. Like, it's very complex, even though, I guess, from the outside, it just looks like creepy, foggy
Yeah.
nightmare times, which it is, but like it's more complex, I guess. It's like it would be cool to see.
Aren't there like nurses and like that? Well, obviously that weird like triangular spiked.
No, weird. Pyramid Head is Zaddy.
I mean, I know what you're saying. I'm just saying, like,
put some respect on Pyramid
What is he
Head's
all
name.
about? What is he all about?
You gotta find out.
All right. I'm gonna have to. So those were technically Kate's list, but we all pretty much agreed on that. So under mine, which again I feel like we kind of agree on anyway, I put A Quiet Place.
But I've never seen those.
Oh yeah, that you should.
I'm not a big fan of John Krasinski.
Oh. Well, he's only in the first one, and again, they're quiet, so he doesn't really talk.
But it's his face.
You don't like his face? It's just a punchable face for you?
It is. I don't like Jim and Pam.
Really? See, I love Jim and Pam.
No.
Oh, see, that's why.
I'm an April and Andy kind of person.
Yeah.
I actually like Dwight and Angela.
Angela.
A lot more than Jim and Pam.
Fair enough. Hey, to each their own. But they are good movies, and the creatures themselves are really scary.
I've seen, what it looks like and all that.
They're, like, very long and creepy and, like, weird. And I like the idea of them setting up the stage of being, like, you need to be quiet.
Well, that's what I thought they were going to do with
The Last of Us.
And they didn't.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's hard
to be quiet, and, like, you would just hear the clicker sounds.
Right. Yeah.
And how are you going to make it quiet?
It was there was a lot of music in it too from I think the game. So it was hard to like be quiet. But I feel like for this movie specifically, they would really set that stage, and like they'd probably have people popping out being like don't say anything type of thing, and like
but then you'd scream and then you would get murdered.
Right. But
R.I.P.
But still, I think as a house it would be cool, and the way that especially in the first movie, the setting would be really cool to recreate, I think. The second Quiet Place was okay. The third one I know you'll want to see because Joseph Quinn's in it, so
that's fair. See, he does not have a punchable face.
No, he
has a very kissable face.
Yeah.
Telling
your secrets.
I don't want to pinch his little cheeks.
So I put that. We also put Pearl/X.
That's my girl.
I was trying to look into this and see if Universal would ever like have A24 films.
Right.
But I feel like they're both probably very competitive. I mean, A24 started out super small.
Yeah.
And now has become like one of the biggest names in horror.
Do you like hot take here? Do you like the Blumhouse movies more or the A24 movies more?
A24.
Agreed.
We literally
easy peasy.
Ben and I literally the other night, like Friday night, we watched Hereditary. So that was the second time I saw it. That was the first time he saw it. It's fucked up and it's so good.
It's good.
It's so good. And I think
that's how all of theirs are.
Yes. I think that with A24, they have a way of using their storytelling by really like it's left kind of open-ended, but like it's very much you're kind of gathering your own opinions and drawing your own conclusions while you're watching the movie.
Yeah, no, for real.
Like even Midsommar, even X and Pearl, like you're kind of left to
like
be
Pearl is literally one of my favorite movies of all time, and it's a horror movie.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Right.
It's a relatable content movie. Pearl is for all my BPD girlies out there.
Yeah.
Like, I literally cry at that movie every time I watch it. Like, there's more depth to it than just, like, the horror element of it.
Right.
But I think what Blumhouse does good as well is they bring, like, the humor element to it.
Yeah, like
a
Happy
lot
Death
of their
Day.
stuff, it has that humor to it.
It does. But I also think they can do some really creepy shit, too.
They do.
Insidious is probably one of my favorite Blumhouse series of movies that they've done. So they do know how to be creepy and scary as well. I feel like they do a really good job with, like, paranormal activity, stuff that's demonic and like ghosts and weird things like that. They just kill. They nail it.
Yeah.
And Five Nights at Freddy's was so different, like such a different genre for them, but they did such a good job with, like,
it was so good.
It was good. It was, yeah. So
imagine what it would have been like if it was rated R.
I want that. I wish that
Incredible.
was it. Yeah.
But I know they wanted it for the kids.
Right.
Because it's...
Yeah. So
but
no
it's still,
shade.
it still was, like, very...
Yeah.
good for being, you know, marketed towards...
the younger generation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And no shit on Blumhouse. But A24...
No, they have their pros and cons.
Yeah,
but
they
it's
all
like,
do.
A24 movies always slap for me.
Yeah. So Pearl and X would be cool, just, you know... I would like to see Pearl's first, that whole storyline, and then going into...
Or you could wait until the third one comes out.
That's true.
And then have all three.
That'd be cool. We'll see if that happens.
You could have the big old gator.
That gator! So, this one's another one that we both agreed on. It. And
New
It, yes.
It. For clarification.
We love Tim Curry. Yes, exactly. We absolutely love him, but he's not scary in the first one.
We like Tim Curry as Pennywise, but what's his name? Bill Skarsgård?
Yeah, he's excellent.
With his weird eyeballs.
He's on another level.
That was terrifying.
Those movies were so good.
They're so good.
So, but you were saying that it is obviously hard to get Stephen King's intellectual property.
Yeah.
So, but you did say they did The Shining.
Right.
So that is interesting. So.
But I'm sure there's all sorts of weird legal.
Oh yeah,
like,
I'm sure with all
this,
these things.
But I wrote this, but I directed this, but I paid, like, I produced, so I don't know how that works at all.
That's why we're kind of saying this, like, in a way that's very just free, because we know that it takes a lot between companies to be able to make an agreement and then make this happen.
Yeah.
So we're not just saying that, we're just kind of saying this for fun, as like, if this could ever happen, like in a dream world.
If I was playing like a roller coaster tycoon and I could set up my own park,
HHN,
that's what I would do.
Yeah, exactly. No, 100%. So we obviously know, you know, people will probably come and be like, they can't do that because blah blah blah. Well, we know, like it's
just what I want to see.
Exactly. We can dream.
If you can dream it, you can do it. Did you ever have a dream where you could do anything?
It's perfect. Okay, and the last one I put was, oh man, The Fly.
Brundlefly.
Which we also love him too. Oh gosh.
Jeff Goldblum, Gina Davis. What a couple. Iconic.
Again, also amazing practical effects.
They have the fly, that pod in that one gift shop.
They do.
That we just came across.
Yes.
Like, not that long ago.
Was it 2 years ago?
We were like, he's in there. It's Brundlefly.
Yeah, yeah, didn't they actually have, like, yes, they had the pods. Yeah.
So come on.
Yeah, that would be amazing. I am for that. And, like, having him in his different stages of being a fly.
In the, like, mirror when he's, like, pulling his, like, skin off. And
like, have them, like, throwing up, like...
Yes, I'm for it.
No, that would be so sick. Oh, my gosh. So, those are a lot of the IPs we had. The last honorable mention, obviously, is what Ben would really like, and it is the Gremlins. Do 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 do. That would be so, like, that would be kind of like Ghostbusters or Beetlejuice.
Yeah, where it'd be more fun.
And, like, you'd see, like, oh, they're fucking messing shit around.
Look at those little guys. Look at those little gremlins.
Yeah, no, I would be about that.
Oh, that would be really cute.
It would be. That's what I'm saying.
If they had little puppets of them.
Yes. Would you want to do the second movie or the first movie?
I feel like they would maybe do both. Just because they have so many of those iconic characters in the second one.
Yeah, they have, like,
Greta Gremlin, the girl one, the spider.
The flying one, the scientist one.
Yeah.
The stupid one.
The eyes are like... Yeah, no, they would have to have it, and then you would have Gizmo. It would be
Yes!
so cute.
I'm about that. I want that.
It would be
really
good.
want it. Yes.
I'm thinking it's along the lines of like the Killer Clowns
yes.
house, where it did actually have some scary parts, like
Right.
even though it was meant to be funny.
Yeah.
But like those clowns are big and they're scary.
Scary. Yeah. So I think, yeah, I am with Ben on that one. That would be fantastic. So that's the list for our IPs that would be on our wish list. And next we came up with some original concepts.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hear any creators talking about what they think would be cool, like, original concepts. Maybe they have, but I personally haven't heard them talk about it. So we thought it'd be cool to do a little segment on what we think would be cool original concepts for scare zones and for houses.
Mm-hmm.
So, go ahead.
I feel like a lot of my ideas were kind of piggybacks off of things that they have done. So it would be like more content from their original ideas that they've made. So like more of Boris Schuster, the
Yes.
case files thing, like how they expanded it into the tribute store
Yes.
this year. Like they obviously have like a running theme with it. I would be okay with another house.
Yeah.
Going
I love
going
that.
to more of his cases and things, or to piggyback off of it to do its own thing, like more Lovecraftian
Yeah.
horror.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not
Cthulhu.
specifically Boris Schuster, but just something like a.
I'd
old
like to see a
gods.
fucking Cthulhu.
Yeah, like a cultist thing.
Yeah.
Like
Cosmic horror.
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 We're from Buffalo, so when we say horror,
It
I think
sounds like
sometimes
horror.
you gotta like.
Horror.
We're not saying what you think that we're saying.
So should we start saying horror?
Horror.
Horror.
Horror. Horror.
No, yeah, I also really loved the vibe of the Boris Schuster thing. Like, it was so, like
the film noir.
yes. It's a vibe. Like, we wanted to, that's one of our favorite ones, I think.
That's one of my favorite houses
of
all
all.
time.
Yeah.
I got the print of it.
Yes.
That's my boy.
Yeah, that was really well done. I don't know.
It was a
scared me,
sleeper
too.
hit. It was a huge sleeper hit because I was like, it didn't really strike a chord with me when I first saw that it was going to be a thing. And then
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh.
can we go through that again?
Yeah. Yep. You know when you really want to go through it again that it's a hit. That's how I felt with why can't I think of it? Darkest Deal.
Yeah.
That one I was like I could go through this 3 times in a row.
I think for me it was Blood Moon.
Yeah. That was really cool too.
I was like, again. It's like that TikTok sound.
I know.
Again.
Well, this year we plan on going, probably more than we normally do, but at least we're going to have 2 nights of Express Pass, so we're balling this year.
We fly.
We ballin'. Oh yeah, this is something we all would love to see, even Ben. UFO and aliens.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I believe they're real. So
They are.
And it freaks me out, but I also like it. I don't know. But it'd be really, really creepy to have some gray, scary ones just pop out of the
Just
corner.
like the little, the typical ones you see like on t-shirts and stuff.
Yeah.
With the big eyes.
Yeah.
Just little guys. Just there. And they're not even really making any sounds or anything. Like,
Yeah.
just having them like peeking out here and there. And you actually being on like a spacecraft, like you're trying to escape.
Yeah.
To like an escape pod or something.
That'd be
like,
cool.
Walking through the like metal like
Yeah.
gangway planks and like they're popping out with like the little ray guns and stuff like
That'd be cool. That'd be so cool. But I also, like, going back to the IPs, I would also love, like, a xenomorph house. Because those fuckers
They're
are scary.
They're real
They
scary.
really... Like, I remember even on the Great Movie Ride...
I cried.
It was scary.
When
It was
I was a
very
kid and I
scary.
went on it the first time, I didn't know that the Great Movie Ride was going to actually be a horror ride. And I sat on the end seat where the xenomorph
Oh, that
came
one.
right out.
Because
at
they
me.
had one up top, too.
Yeah, and the one came, and I was like crying into my mom, and then like a few scenes later, you go through the temple with India, and there's
Yep.
like the skeletons coming
Yep.
out or whatever. I was crying.
Yep. But now you love it. Now
Yeah,
you
yeah. Well, You see how things turn out.
I know, right? But yeah, no, I would be all for a xenomorph alien house as well. But I would also be totally down.
Just any sort of creepy alien.
Even that alien that they had a few years ago was cool.
Yeah.
The one that was just on like that stage.
Yeah.
It was so cool. Yeah. So definitely UFO aliens. We like that.
They did graveyard games a few years ago, and I would like to see more of like the original concept of like a haunted cemetery mausoleum sort of thing, which I'm pretty sure they used some of the set pieces from graveyard games in Darkest Steel.
Oh, cool.
When we went through that, like the not the morgue, the mausoleum.
Yeah.
And like the altar and everything. Like it looked familiar to me, so I feel like it was from that.
I'm sure they would reuse some things.
Going through like a spooky cemetery with ghosts, like it's very
cool.
like classic traditional horror, like to a T.
Yeah.
Like keeping the concept kind of simple sometimes and not,
overthinking it. Yeah. No, that's cool.
I would like to see more of that.
Yes.
And then they did Slaughter Cinema, and I would like to see like Slaughter Cinema the sequel. Just because again, it was basically like an anthology series in a house where it was like you were at a movie theater and you're looking at each of the posters for B grade, C grade horror movies, and you go into it. So like you went into that movie, you go through a scene, went into the next movie, go through the scene, like
yeah,
because then you can do so many like concepts in one house and make it make sense.
Yeah, definitely. There's like the sky's the limit. I feel like with that, like
you could come up with the weirdest
thing. Yeah.
Like in it was like the Beast Baby, and it was like an evil baby, or like the Shitty Kids.
Yeah.
Shitty's Kids, and they were like cracked
Amazon
out.
Women from Hell.
Yeah, like just crazy stuff that you've probably seen on late night TV, like weird movies that you would never actually watch,
right?
But like,
or like the old sci-fi films.
They exist.
Yeah, for sure.
Like Sharknado, like
that would be awful.
I like that. I like that idea.
No, yeah, that's a fun and like clever idea, I think. So we also said it would be cool to have a house that is full of phobias.
Mm-hmm.
So like, spiders, bugs, snakes, rats, small spaces,
darkness,
dolls,
heights.
Yeah. Oh, heights would be
like
fun.
Some sort of like illusion.
Like, yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. Even like with a bug house when they had like the things touching you and you like didn't, that was
it was like fishing line.
Yeah.
And
it felt like spider webs.
And then they would shoot the little flicks, like, so it made it feel like there were things on you.
Yeah, that would be an excellent house. And you said that they did something like that before with Jack?
They did. It was
what?
The name of the house was called Anxiety in 3D.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, I think we experienced that every day.
I'm good on that one,
We experienced that in 4D.
Sometimes 5D.
We're on a whole plane of anxiety.
Another spectrum of anxiety. It's the Twilight Zone.
Oh my god.
What a great name of a house.
It is. It's perfect.
Anxiety in 3D. Yeah.
Somebody must have had anxiety to come up with that. Like they knew the humor in that.
Yeah, for sure. And you went into a video game that Jack made that made you face your fears and your phobias. But that was like a really long time ago that they did that, like early 2000s. So again, phobias are just like. Everyone has one.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the bug house itself was
very
good.
Scary.
Very like triggering for people who don't like bugs.
Yeah.
Like if you have tryptophobia or whatever with the hole, like the
holes.
Fear of the holes, like you get the heebie-jeebies real good.
That was a good house though. I liked the theming of it.
I liked it.
All right. Then we also put fantasy / D&D, ogres, orcs, undead. So, I mean, we loved the dueling dragons one. Was that what it was called? That's not what it was called.
Yeah, Dueling Dragons Choose Thy Fate.
Choose Thy Fate, thank you. I was like, I'm missing something. We loved that. We loved the concept of it.
Yeah.
It wasn't our favorite house.
No.
But we loved the lines it was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like they could definitely expand on that. Where it, they could have orcs and ogres and almost like Lord of the Rings, like
literally.
creepy, like, or like creepy fae creatures.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So that would be excellent. And they could be very fantastical with the sets and everything. Like,
yeah, I'm thinking almost even a little bit more artsy.
Yeah. And, like, make it, like, almost like you're in a forest. And there's a lot they could do with that, I feel like.
Yeah.
So we really liked the idea of what they did last year.
Like, make that a whole, like, lore. Make it its own universe.
Yeah. Like, maybe even expound upon
the
it.
Dueling Dragons universe. And,
right.
Like, with the wizards and everything. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I liked it, too.
I love fantasy. It's, like, pretty close tied with horror for favorite genre, so it's like if we can
merge them,
even better.
Yeah, I agree. I think that would be an excellent, or even scare zone. Like Ben was saying, it'd be cool if they had that jungle area where they had the jungle last year, that kind of in the middle of the park area, be set up as like a fantasy horror area.
Yeah.
And have like
weird
trolls and like weird like fantasy creatures.
Yeah.
I'd love that.
I'm for it.
I mean, either way, a house or a scare zone would be pretty freaking sweet as like that genre. And we had, this was something that I really basically The Mummy.
Have you ever seen the cinematic masterpiece with Brendan Fraser called The Mummy? Have you gotten your cup of coffee?
Yes. So I would really love like some sort of story where you're going through the pyramids and like somebody like sold their soul to the gods, and like there's, I don't know, I'm picturing like some big gem that
an idol,
like an idol or
you're
something.
You're like mixing like an Indiana Jones a little bit with
and like the idol like turns them into like a mummy or some creepy creature. But I want to see like creepy like Egyptian gods. I want to see a creepy like alligator head, crocodile head, whatever.
I don't know what their names are.
I don't either.
But I know
Anubis.
I know what you're talking
like
about.
Like a scary Anubis. Like, they could make the gods creepy.
They are creepy. I should have paid more attention to Moon Knight.
Right. They are very... I think you could easily make that really scary.
I was always afraid
of mummies. And mummies in there and, like, undead and...
I'm still afraid of mummies.
Yeah.
I couldn't even go to our local science museum. There's a
mummy exhibit.
I wouldn't even go in there.
Really?
Because I was scared of mummies.
Really?
Yeah.
I would go in there.
I was like, I'm going to wait outside. You guys go right ahead.
I found it very interesting. Did you know that there was one in that exhibit that he died of literally a tooth infection? It went to his brain.
Oh. Well, so, you heard it here, folks.
You better brush your teeth and floss. And if you got a hole in your tooth, you better get it fixed.
Just pray it away.
Jeez. We've heard it all before. So yeah, I would love a mummy. Like, you know, I basically laid it out.
Yeah,
that'd be so cool.
It's fine.
Yes. Okay, so that is what we have for original concepts for houses and sort of scare zones. But now we're going into what we conceptualized for our wish list of scare zones. So what's the first one? Oh, this is good.
Cryptids.
Yes.
We need cryptids. I want to see Mothman.
Yes. And they did the Chupacabra. They've
done the Yeti.
Yep.
They've done like Sasquatch-esque thing. Jersey Devil.
Yep. Ozark Howler.
Throw them in. Who else? The Fresno Nightcrawlers.
Yeah.
Get them in there.
Yeah. So that would be really cool. I could see that being the one near Fast and the Furious. Yep. That's exactly
the same thing.
Look at us.
Look at us.
Look at us.
Who'd have thunk? Not me.
Yes.
Cryptids. Mothman. I want to see Mothman walking around with the red eyes.
Yeah.
He's got to be big.
He got to be big.
Well, you know.
He should be on stilts, like kind of like
Patricia.
Patricia, yeah. Put us on the board.
Mothman.
Put us on the board.
Pick me up, Mothman. I will fly through the skies with you.
Yeah, that would be an excellent. I'm surprised they actually haven't done
It's a
that.
never-ending story, but I love Mothman.
Never-ending story. I'm for it, Kate. You do it. You go.
I would love to do that.
I'll hang out with the Yeti. It's cool.
Sweet.
I've always been a fan of big hairy men. Like you, babe. Okay, we're going a little too. Okay. So the next one we said more vamp, cause like I mean
The world needs more vampires.
we love the vampires.
I could never get enough.
Yeah.
They've done the 50s, they've done the 70s, they've done the 80s. Let's throw out some 20s.
Yeah. Flappers. Well, that'd be a great scare zone, and it would be like Charleston.
Yeah.
Charleston.
They'd be like, "Hey there, toots." And I'd be like,
Oh. Would you like a little champagne? Would you like a little blood?
they'd be tipping their fedora at me, but not in a cringe way, like in a sexy way.
Oh, of course.
And I'd be like,
Yeah, I could see that.
they got me last year with the biker vampires,
Yeah.
and then the year they did the other
The 80s one would be mine. I love that. But yeah, so
more vamp.
more vamp.
Can't get enough.
We're here for it. We need the music, we need the vibe. Which leads us to our next one.
Yes.
We definitely love the music-y vibe in the scare zones. So, we never went to the Rob Zombie one. Oh, you did. Which sounds just awesome.
It was weird, like, to think about it before seeing it was like, what is this gonna be? Like, I mean,
Right.
It was the same thing with The Weeknd.
Which The Weeknd was amazing.
Like, you're walking into the music videos, but then I was like, I don't really remember too much about that. Like, I don't know. But then once I was there and, like, the music is blasting and they've got, like, the iconic outfits from the different music videos. Like, they had the Living Dead girl. They just had girls in, like, sexy leather outfits dancing up on risers to Rob Zombie music, and it was great. And
Sign
like
me
you
up
could
for that
you could
job.
sit in the like the car, like they were like,
That's a vibe.
it was amazing.
Yeah.
So I liked that it wasn't necessarily that it was like scary. Like they were still trying to scare you, but it was also more of just like, hey, this is a party.
Yeah. I would be for a weekend scare zone.
Spooky, sexy party.
That's what we need. That's
what
it's
I
all
live
about.
by.
Yeah.
That's what I live by.
Yeah, so I would have a weekend wish list.
The weekend scare zone?
That was
sweet.
Yeah, because the house was amazing.
So
that'd
good.
be sweet. I joked earlier and said, because one of my favorite artists is Britney Spears, and just have them, playing with knives. I'm a slave for you. Have the
Snake.
boa constrictor. Hell yeah.
Her just coming up to you.
Like, oh man. I love her. God bless her. She really needs help.
She been through
Somebody
it.
help her. Like, seriously.
She been
through it.
You guys are lucky that I don't act like that from what I've been through.
Okay, two more. So, oh yeah. We basically talked about the evil forest fae creatures. And then the last one I put was cannibals. Like, I'm thinking, obviously, like, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like, the southern country hillbilly. Oh, yeah. Oof. Yeah, that's creepy as fuck. Like, a trailer and, like, creepy people, like, with other people's skin on and
or like
shit.
Wrong Turn. That's such a, like, stereotype of the cannibal hillbilly.
Yes.
But it's in a lot of media.
But the cannibals from what's that movie that triggered us for life?
Bone Tomahawk?
Bone Tomahawk.
No.
Those cannibals.
Nah.
Oh, like the Aztec, like creepy cannibal. But you know what? That is another horror trope, is like a cannibal like tribe, cannibal,
family,
family.
cult thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's creepy. It's scary. So I would like that in a scare zone or maybe a house.
I think it would make for a lot of like good, like
Interactions.
yeah, work as a scare actor to portray those kind of characters, because a lot of times the costumes are or the makeup is heavily done where you don't get to like you have to emote through your actions. Yeah. So these seem like it could be like good, you know, for you to talk as in character.
Yeah.
And like I know they have to do that all night every night for like 2 months. So they could develop like their own characters and stuff and like have fun with it.
Yeah. And we didn't put this on here, but I obviously just loved this. So I am obviously all about bringing back the icons. And an icon scare zone would be cool. Like
they would not do it.
They wouldn't. Oh, because people would love it too much. They'd want to interact with the characters. That makes sense. I would also love to see like a Jack versus Oddfellow house. But they did bring Jack out in a scare zone with Eddie.
But they were up on the things.
Right. But they should just do that, though.
They could do that.
So they could
They've done that before.
I want that.
They've done where they each icon had a stage. And
that's what I want.
They would like rotate every few minutes. You know, the storyteller would do a kill. Like she'd cut a guy's tongue out. I remember that. And then like the usher would do a kill. The director would like.
Yeah, I want that. I want that. I want it. That is what I want for a scare zone.
Yeah, I'm always down.
And I'd like to see like a storyline where there's a war between Jack and Oddfellow. Because clearly there's bad blood from the story and the lore that we know.
Yeah.
And
I think they introduced his character to set that sort of thing up.
I think so too.
It would make sense.
So I'm about it. Now, that also leads me to this question. Nightmare Fuel. Are they going to redo Nightmare Fuel, or are they going to do stage shows like they've done in the past with a storyline with Oddfellow and Jack?
Ooh.
Because I love Nightmare Fuel. I would be okay with that being the show probably forever.
Yes.
But when you showed me the older stage shows, the performances where they would do, it was theatrical with Jack and Chance, I also would fucking live for that.
It was good.
So,
and even before that, before our time, they did the Bill and Ted's.
Oh my God, yes, and I've heard about
that.
This.
That went on every year.
Yeah.
It was like a story that spanned through decades. Like,
yeah.
It was a whole thing. That was before they started doing like the stunt shows and stuff.
Yeah.
So like maybe they would go back to doing something
like that
where it was more of a theatrical storytelling thing. Not that Nightmare Fuel is not, but like it's clearly like more a dance and stunt like
show. Which
is incredible.
We love. But I'm also open to something new, like the previous theatrical shows.
They've also been testing drones.
Interesting. I didn't know that. I wonder if they'll do that with the water show. Do you think they would do that?
Mm-hmm.
That would be cool. So yeah, there's definitely a lot on our wish list for future HHNs, and we're so looking forward to this year as well.
If they ever do any of these, you heard it here first.
Yes. And hopefully someday they'll put us on their board of ideas.
For real.
I mean, one can only wish. But, yeah. So as soon as we get more announcements for HHN, you know we will be talking about it. You know we will be talking about the food. You know we'll be talking about the shows.
I mean, this is a good place to drop that we did actually book...
We did! We finally booked our trip.
We're celebrating halfway to Halloween.
Yes.
And we kind of celebrated by planning our usual Halloween vacation.
Yes. Which will be end of September, early October. So we still don't know. Obviously, we don't know the dates for Mickey's Not So Scary or HHN.
Right.
So we don't know the dates we're going. But we are ready.
We're ready. Clearly, we're already sitting here dreaming about it.
Right. We're at least doing 2 days HHN. definitely just one day Mickey's Not So Scary. Will we add a third day for HHN?
Hollow Scream.
And Hollow Scream. Yes, we're definitely doing Hollow Scream because we've heard good things about it.
Heck yeah. I know that they also have really good food there.
Yeah, I'm about that.
Food and drinks and spooky times, sign me up.
Sign me up. So it's going to be very much a Halloween-focused vacation.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, I think we'll definitely have a little Disney in there because how can we not? And we're there for 11 days. And, so, I mean, we'll definitely have time to do other things. So, We'll see. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching, possibly. Thank you so much for your support. We are just so thankful you guys like to listen to us. So, again, if you have any comments, want us to talk about anything else, let us know.
What are your ideas? What are your wish list items for HHN?
Yes. Let us know. All right. Have a good night.
Stay spooky.